Hello, my YouTubian friends. It is time to check out spoilers going up through Wednesday, April 8th. And then after today, I gotta get heads down and get ready for this pre-release guide. But I want to look at some of the cards, start chatting about what's happening. You know, what can we see, what can we tell is going on in this set on this new plane of Ikoria as we visit the lair of the behemoths. Is that the way to phrase it? Sure. I also have this deck box of Chromium out because I don't actually own Chromium from M19. Very sad, just never pulled one. But I want to make Commander deck. He's my favorite character from the game, so he's just there hanging out as we check out these new dragons and stuff we got going on Ikoria. But yeah, let's get into the spoilers. We can see the archetypes are starting to get revealed, and it looks like all 10 dual color pairings are going to work, like we've seen with the last, give or take, 48 sets. Not all the sets that we've seen recently do focus on the 10 color pairings. You know, Ravnica, Guild Ravnica and Ravnica Allegiance were both 5. But what was it? Throne of Eldraine, Theros Beyond Death, all the core sets. All these recent sets are really focusing on the dual color pairings. And they've been pretty consistent in generally what they're trying to do in each set. Blue-white is blue-white flyers. And this is a pretty scary one with Skycat Sovereign. It's flying. It's going to do some flying things. Anyway, red has some pretty ridiculous removal popping up. So we don't have to worry about red having a lack of instant speed interaction. And I mean, these are like objectively better than other sets as well. Flame Spill, killing a target creature, but then also being able to ping your opponent for that extra damage that goes over. That's a huge deal. Like if you need to get through for the last few points of damage, you can just Flame Spill their 1 toughness creature and essentially kill the creature and then bolt your opponent for 3. That seems like a really big deal to me. And then Fire Prophecy is probably one of the best commons I've seen in a set in like the last 2 years for red. Like this is easily one of the best commons in a long time. 3 damage to target creature for 2 mana at instant speed, but then you also get to essentially put a card on the bottom and draw a card. So it gets that extra land out of your hand and draws you a card at instant speed and its removal. That's very good. And this artwork is pretty entrancing. Anyway, we have the almighty Brush Wag. Like the Mad Lads did it. Look at what, it's a 1/1 trampler that you can pump up because that's what Brush Wags do. It's a new creature type that, oh my goodness. It's like, what is happening? We got more of this crazy art going on too. And then we get to see more of these Triome cards. So in case you're not aware, on Ikoria, the plane is broken up into 5 Triomes. The Triome, it's like a biome. I'm gonna say this in the pre-release guide, I can already tell. But there's a biome, right? It's like a large area that dictates the type of flora and fauna you have. It's got 3 magic colors. Biome becomes Triome. We did it. We got these crazy cool, look at this thing. Offspring's Revenge. Feels like it's gonna be a good card in Constructed. Feels like it's going to be a good card in Commander. Big fan of it, to be honest. And then we have these stupid strong spells that each wedge is getting. Ruinous Ultimatum. For the casual 7 colored mana, you destroy all non-land permanents your opponents control. If this thing just had all permanents your opponents control, it'd be like, you win the game for 7 mana. But in Commander, this is not going to be crazy hard to cast. Like in Limited, are you going to play this at a pre-release? Yes, because why would you not? You know, it's not likely, but you should probably still try it because just for the fun, the memories. But these cards legitimately win you the game. Emergent Ultimatum. You look for the best 3 cards in your deck for up to the 3 monocolored cards with different names. So the best 3 monocolored cards in your deck, put them to the side. Your opponent picks 1 to put back in your deck, you get to cast the other 2 for free. Basically getting 2 of the 3 best cards in your deck, give or take, into play for free. Seems like that's a good thing to do in Magic. But again, for 7 mana, not going to be the easiest thing to pull off. But these cards are, I'm imagining, going to be staples in Commander for a long time to come. Then we got Farfinder. We're starting to see some land fixing because this set, it's dual color pairing focused. But again, if we have these Triomes, and there's a lot of 3-color stuff, like we see with Narset here, who's kicking away the competition, you're probably going to be splashing a 3rd color. I'm not sure how consistent that's going to happen quite yet, but it's not going to be an uncommon or a far-fetched thing to do. I mean, this is probably my favorite art alt card so far, is Narset just looks awesome here. Then we see her non-alt art version here. She's apparently an ambidextrous type of person, just throwing kicks left and right with her left and her right. But yeah, I like this card. The artwork's just engaging. Like, I'm just all about, where is she at? Why is Narset on Ikoria? I have no idea, but she's someone I want to follow into battle. I'm feeling motivated by her just zen look that she's got going, but her also willingness to just kick you no matter how tall you are. I can dig it. We get to see some more companion stuff. The more I think about this mechanic, the less I'm a fan of it, but it also feels like it could be me thinking of like worst case scenarios. And if Wizards can show some restraint and not making it too overpowered, it could just stay a fun, weird kind of thing to do that doesn't completely warp the format or a meta of some sort. Oh, that could be some wishful thinking for sure. This one I like though. 3/2 Vigilant makes all your other creatures bigger that abide by this deck building rule. Awesome. Song of Creation. Great card because you can play an additional land on each of your turns. Whenever you cast a spell, draw 2 cards. I mean, is that good? And then if you have the card or a card that helps you just end the turn, that's a lot of value. Like a dumb amount of value. And good thing it doesn't have blue. Never mind, it has blue in it, so you don't have to worry about playing those spells on your turn. You can flash stuff in. This is going to be ugly. I can imagine there's going to be some good synergies too. Even in Standard. I'm curious if we can break this thing in Standard. But in Commander, again, probably going to be a staple in the Timor Wedge. Eerie Ultimatum. I like this artwork. Like this gives me the vibe of Ikoria. Kind of that purple ether, nailed it, that's floating around. It's got that art in the background that makes you feel like, yeah, this is just a weird plane where there's all kinds of crazy huge creatures, and you see this flora popping up in the background that's monstrously large. This artwork, I just dig it. But return any number of permanent cards with different names from your graveyard to the battlefield. Now, can you give them haste? I don't know. It's not an instant, so this could be something where you play it and then you get board wiped. This feels like potentially the weakest, unless you have a lot of ETB triggers. Because in Commander, right, everyone's got board wipes at some point. It's still pretty stupid good. And then we get some more of this fancy art. Don't forget, we'll get to that. I know he's down here a little bit further. Zenith Flare. Oh, Bushmeat Poacher. This is an interesting card that when I saw it, I was curious if we're ever going to use it on our own creatures in response to mutate. Because you can cast your mutate for whatever reason. Let's just say your opponent has pacified one creature you have mutated, so you can't really do anything with it. If you don't want to get that mutate trigger resolution off, what you could do, because most of the time the mutate cost is less than the creature cost. If it's 1 mana, probably not a huge difference, but still, you could go to mutate your creature, maintain priority, sacrifice another creature, so sacrifice the creature you're targeting with mutate, and then you get to gain life and draw a card and get your creature in for cheaper. That could be a good thing to do. Just a thought. We'll have to wait and see. Just thought. Again, blue-white flyers. Like, what else? Have we seen other cards that help us hone in on what each archetype is trying to do? Yeah, blue-green. We're doing flashy, rampy, big creature kind of things. Parcel Beast is going to be a staple in like every Simic Commander deck. Look at if you play Seedborn Muse, this card is also going to be in your deck. Because you look at the top card of your library, you ramp, or you just get to draw a card. So you get 3 extra ramp land plays or draw cards if you're playing with Seedborn Muse. I mean, it's like a little bit of a janky combo, but I'm not someone who goes CEDH all the time. I love the idea that I can slap a new uncommon into a commander deck and get some pretty awesome value from it. And I got to point out the Ozolith, right? This card is ridiculous, especially with green Hydra type creatures that come in with your 6/1/1 counters. When that creature dies, those 6/1/1 counters are going on this thing and then going on to another creature. And it's just, even in Standard, we could do some ugly things with Hydras in Standard and the Ozolith. I'm excited to brew up some stuff with that. Here's where we start to get into the dual color pairings, what they're trying to do. Blue-red is always just spells matter. Quartzwood Crasher are red-green big beasts with trample. Who's surprised? Not me. Red and oh my goodness. Black and green is about graveyard matters. White and black is probably the most awkward. It's just the one that, look, we're going to remove everything that's on the board and we'll just be the last one standing, which is kind of like a humans thing to do. But my vibe on it so far is white-black is like humans and they're nightmares. A lot of Black's creatures are nightmares with mutate. So, you know, humans having nightmares on a plane, lots of big creatures, constant nightmares about what's going to eat you or come barging through your door. I like it. I think that fits. Then we see these cards, which now make more sense to me because they're aligned with the wedge colors, right? These, oh, and I just love Seb McKinnon's art. Oh my goodness. But these, you get the bonus value if you can pull it off, casting it with the other two colors from that wedge or that triome. If I want to stay specific to the color and the flavor of the set. Get to start seeing more companion stuff, more alternate art type stuff. I love this progression of cards that Brian Kibler got to do. We could probably organize them differently so the story is told in a more engaging way. But look, he's like, this guy watched Land Before Time and got really into the movie. Anyway, what else do we have showing up? Oh, Swallow Whole. There is some other sweet removal. Look at this thing, exiles target tapped creature. So yeah, if something has vigilance, you're not gonna be able to target it with this. But all you have to do is tap one of your creatures, tap an untapped creature you control, exile your opponent's biggest tapped creature, and you put a 1/1 counter on the creature you just tapped for 1 white mana. This is going to be a good card in Limited. Call me crazy, but I'm a huge fan of 1-cost removal spells. It's gonna be pretty good. Yeah, honestly, this set's feeling pretty good. I feel like white-black is going to be the human tribal, or the only one where humans are really relevant. Like again, here's black, nightmare creature with mutate. That's what white-black's gonna have. It's gonna have a lot of humans, and a lot of humans having nightmares. That's my initial read on this. Should we check out the commander spoilers? So here we get to see what was released or spoiled today was a lot of the land bases, which again are not like overly inspiring. That is kind of like one of the most annoying bottlenecks of Magic is the land bases. Like those are often the most expensive parts of building a good competitive deck. And I mean, honestly, if these are entry-level commander decks, they're $40 a piece. Yeah, the reprint value so far is not feeling great to me. And they probably could have done more with the land base. Again, yeah, just not overly inspired by the reprints that are showing up or the lands they're using. I don't know why they're not using the Battle Bond dual lands. I don't understand why those are not showing up in these. But I guess it is what it is. We keep getting the same reprints. Swiftfoot Boots, Solemn Simulacrum, Lightning Greaves. I guess that's good to have Lightning Greaves back. Some Signets are showing up. Those are always useful. Terminate. I have like 48 copies of this card from my childhood collection Invasion days. But if we look through the rest of this, there's some, Carmetra's an awesome reprint. Forgot she showed up today. But overall, again, not like overly blown away by the reprint value that's showing up, but these decks do seem really fun, and I will say Wizards has consistently done a good job with the legendary creatures and new commander options they're giving us. So I'm not going to knock it till I try it, so to speak. I love getting precons and cracking them open and just playing with them out of the box. Although I don't know if I have the budget to buy these 5 new ones that are coming out. But if anyone does end up, pulling one together, bringing it to the play group, I'm going to definitely ask to play with it if they're not using it. Just because I like to play with the new decks and see how well they work together. All right, but that's going to do it for me, folks. What do you think about these Commander precons so far? Or what are your impressions of Ikoria so far? Love to hear your thoughts. But yeah, I'm going to get down into the nitty gritty to get this pre-release guide ready to go and get it up ASAP like we do here. That's what I love to do. I love making the pre-release guides. With that, I'm just going to say thanks for watching. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're as excited for Ikoria as I am. I think the set does have a lot of fun stuff going for it, and there's a lot to figure out. The mechanics are not super intuitive. Like there's a lot of complexity I think we have to chew on and just try and figure out what's going to be the best approach for it. So yeah, with that, I'm going to get to work. Hope y'all are having a good one. We'll see you in the next video. Take it easy. Peace.